All right. Well, hello everybody. Welcome to the first stream of the year. One of the first pieces of content of the year. Today, the overarching topic is this reasoning models, okay? The rough plan for today is quite simple. We're starting a brand new monthly format. We've done it a few times last year. We're gonna do it way more this year. We're gonna be issuing monthly challenges to the public community, to the YouTube community across our YouTube channel and newsletter. And we're going to be kicking it off by challenging you to show off how you use ChatGPT o1, o1-Pro, Google Gemini Deep Research, or DeepSeek V3. That's the topic of today's live stream, okay? We're going to spend about 60 minutes here, and that's agenda. But first things first, welcome. Good to have you here. And as per usual, for everybody who's tuning in from all around the world, I would love to hear where you're sitting right now. Where are you connected to Wi-Fi looking into a screen? For me, it's Portugal. My router is back there. I'm sitting in Lisbon. That's where my apartment and studio is. That's where I create from. That's where I live from. What about you? Where are you watching this from? I would love to hear. Please leave that in chat. And as you do, we can start progressing through today's content, which, again, is going to include a focus on o1. Now, look, if you tuned in and you're hoping for some magic bullet that is going to, in seconds, turn around your usage of the o1 model and unlock all the wisdom and the potential that hides within it, then I'll probably have to disappoint you. That's not what I brought for you today. Rather, what I brought is a few resources that might do that, but not in seconds, okay? I have a course on o1 that a community member found and that I want to share with you here. So that's going to be useful. That's going to satisfy anybody who's looking to really educate themselves on this topic. But then also what I'm going to bring to the table here is a few ideas, a few comments from around the internet on how to use o1, and I'm bringing you a brand new challenge that you can either participate in or you can just watch from the sidelines. Either way, I think this is going to be really valuable for everybody here and everybody on the channel, because you know what's better than trying to figure out how to use this damn stuff yourself? Figuring it out together. And that's what we'll be doing today. But look at this chat. This is why I love doing this every time. This gets me hyped up every single time because we have people coming in from sunny Dallas, Texas. We have Dirk coming in from Germany here. I just know because I know. Brian Skelton from the UK, Sweden, Egypt, Raluca from Madrid, Spain, New York, USA. Look at that. All these Western time zones up in here. Kaioken coming in from Canada. Hans from Denmark. There you go, Dirk. And we have more Spain. Bucharest. We have a lot of Spanish people here, huh? Bangkok, Thailand. Ooh, what time is it over there? Isn't that like plus... What is it? I'm not exactly sure, but it's got to be middle of the night right now, right? And we have Daniel Pierce coming in from the US. All right. Kuwait, Egypt. There you go. MD War X asking, have you tried O3? My man, unfortunately, no. We did sign up, no? Like Dirk from our community that is also here in chat created a what is it called? A research organization, a testing I'm not exactly sure on what it is named, but basically there's like a pre-requirement for you to sign up to the testing. And I believe I'm one of the researchers on the site. So our application is pending. If anybody from OpenAI is watching this, which you never know, hey, get us on board. We'll help you test that thing. But no, so far I haven't. Only, I'm just testing what's publicly available. That's what we'll be working here today and talking about today. But then also we have Namibia, Africa. Look at that. Love hearing it. Indiana, more Spain. We have Jan from Slovakia. Dúfam, že sa máš krásne. Then we have Haiti. Look at that. More Spain. All right. Yeah. Anthony saying midnight. Ooh. India and more Slovakia. What up, Daniel? It's so good to have my fellow Slovaks up in here. All right, so Brazil, Netherlands, truly international, truly international. This is why I love this so much. You can just see, like, you can imagine yourself just hanging out with like the most diverse and international community, all gathered around like one topic. It's so cool. Okay, so let's slowly but surely get into this, okay? I want to get started by just recapitulating this idea of the monthly challenge for anybody who might be new around here or who might have not seen what we're doing with this, well, sometimes, you know? Basically, the idea is very simple, okay? I can share my screen here in a second, but the idea is this. You can explore by yourself, and there's these certain questions that like probably take more time and effort than you have to really like fully explore. And there's certain questions that just, there's no way you can fully explore. Not even a full research lab could really explore them. The one, and then we take these questions and we package them into something we call public challenges. The one that we'll be doing today is like, what the heck do you even use O1 for, right? What do you use these reasoning models for? We all know that, you know, they're out, they're available. You know, they're preferable on certain tasks. I certainly like default to them whenever it comes to something a little more complex, like some analysis or some planning. We'll talk about that later. But like, is that really it? Isn't there more potential? Like, isn't like the upcoming o3 supposed to be like one of the smartest coders in the world? And like, is there ways for me to use that in my everyday life? That's the question we'll be facing here. And the way we do that is through this format called a public challenge. We held one in like mid-November to December. You might remember we called it the How AI Changed Their Life Challenge, where people basically shared how AI changed their life. And we had LH Chevalier from Prague here sharing his little story. This was the winner. This is what we're going to do next month. I'm going to bring on some guest judges. We're going to look at the best submissions and we're going to pick some winners from this O1 challenge. But basically, he shared how AI allows him to communicate online now through tools like HeyGen. Because, yeah, you can have a look at this. He's fighting a disease of the nervous system his entire life. And now with AI, he's finally able to communicate properly. It was such an inspirational story that this man just had to win. He received his $1,000 prize, was super happy about it. And yeah, that was basically the challenge. Along the way, we didn't just learn that this is possible and how AI changed his life, but we had over 30 submissions of various people showing us how it changed their life. Today, we're doing the same thing, but for ChatGPT O1. Before that, you can see this is number 35. We did this 34 times before, most of it inside of the community, some of it public. I think we had 2 public challenges before. One of them was GPT building. That's where we found a lot of our core members in the community that are avid GPT and bot builders. And then second one was GPT-4o use cases. When GPT-4o came out, like, hey, this model is supposed to be better. Show us what you use it for, okay? We're doing the same thing for O1 today. So that's the base concept, okay? Where can you find this? In the free area of our community. You don't need an account, you don't need anything. You can just go to this link right here, public challenge, and you can check it out. I will share a link in the description of this video. I also shared one in the chat right now, so you can just go check it out over there. All the details are there. What I'm not gonna do is I'm not gonna spend the next 10 minutes reading through this whole thing. You can do that by yourself. Like, what is this going to be judged by? It's right here. When is the deadline? You know, before the next stream that is gonna happen in a month. That's right here. But like really what matters is this. It's the goal. Like, what's the goal of this challenge and what should your submission look like? And listen, if you're like, hey, I'm way too lazy for this stuff, or I don't even have O1, like, you're still in the right place because you can just like benefit from this entire wonderful community that you saw in chat with all the people from all these various countries. You can benefit from their use cases. Some people are going to share what they do, and no matter your background, it might just be interesting to have a look over that and to see if you can relate to some of them, to see if you can use some of them. And, you know, the idea is like, if you explore yourself, you might find a certain amount of use cases, but all of a sudden, if you have hundreds of people looking at it and trying it and them submitting their results, it's just exponentially better. And that's why we're here. That's really the power of many instead of just one. All right. Let's see, just checking chat over here. Yeah. Dirk pointing out it's our innovation lab. That's what it is. You can sign up to our innovation lab too. to get potentially early access to O3. That's how you do it. All right. So I introduced the monthly challenge, the concept of the monthly challenge. So now let's talk about this one, okay? So how does this work basically? Well, you can read through the challenge to gather the details. But the goal of the challenge is really this, okay? You need to find and showcase the most creative and practical applications of the ChatGPT o1 model. Also deep research over here, or DeepSeek v3 over here. Both of these count, okay? This is the free alternative. You just gotta enable DeepThink over here. And Gemini is a $20 subscription. ChatGPT is a $20 subscription for o1. If you want to, you can also show off o1-Pro. It doesn't matter. One of these 4 options will work, okay? And basically what we want you to do is, find a creative or practical application. And then, analyze and share the results of it. Like you can compare it. You can discuss it. You can talk about how it helped you. There's more concrete instructions down here. Right here, create a presentation post that includes your reasoning, a review of why this model is preferable to any other model, and you can share your presentation in this area. The way it works is very simple. You can view this for free. You can also sign up for free to this free area of the community. And then once you're signed up, you can just say new post. You say o1 for my bakery business. And then you can briefly, share a paragraph of text of like why you think that it works for you. And then an example. You can share a link to a chat. You can share a screenshot. You can record a short video. You can just add the prompt and share the results. You can write an essay. Anything works, okay? No restraints. You can keep this as simple or make it as complex as you want to. We will not judge it by, how good your storytelling skills are. Obviously, they help, but we'll be judging it by the creativity and the usefulness of the use case you present, okay? And that is something subjective, and that's why we'll also have multiple judges looking at that in a month, okay? We'll do another stream in a month, and that is basically the challenge, okay? It's quite simple. It's leveraging the power of community that we have here on YouTube and discovering something that will probably add value to every single person who either participates or views the results of this challenge. It's that simple. Any questions? Any questions? Let's see. Okay, there seems to have been a little Wi-Fi issue. It has been a little wonky recently. That is a little weird. I ran a Wi-Fi test right before this. I also contacted my provider last time. I will look into it a little deeper. I'm glad to hear it's working again. Oh, you see some people meeting in the chat here. That's wonderful to hear. Harvey saying he's speaking at CES tomorrow. Anybody else at CES here? Anybody else hanging around CES? I mean, it's the biggest, technology convention in the world, probably, no? Consumer Electronic, Las Vegas. Consumer Electronic Show it is, right? As is show, I think. Okay. Any questions about the challenge? So that's a basic premise. It's pretty simple like that, right? Because then, if all that is clear and you have the link and you have the awareness of it, then we can proceed to kind of talk about these models. And, I have a few things that I want to share you. I have one free course that you can take on using o1 that Stavros in our community highlighted. Thank you, Stavros. I also saw you here in chat. And yeah, should be good. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. If you have any questions, please go ahead. Oh, yeah, prices. Yeah. So basically, we're doing community memberships, yearly membership for the first price. Second and third price is 3 months. If you're a member already, this gets added on to your membership. If you're not a member, you get this for free. And you also get featured across all of our social media channels and newsletter. As we're doing with LH Chevalier's post right now. Yeah, this was so inspirational, man. Again, if you're watching this, thanks again for submitting. Honestly, I also shared this with some people in my private life, over Christmas, and everybody was just blown away by how amazing AI can be for somebody's personal life. Yeah, really beautiful. Really beautiful. Okay. Let's see. Let me just briefly check the chat over here. Looking good. connection looking stable. All right. So now we can slowly but surely proceed to looking at the various models. And this is not going to, like, I'll be honest here, this is going to be the opposite of like an in-depth, like comprehensive comparison of every reasoning model out there and tutorial. Like the reason we're doing this challenge, and let me be very clear about this, like the reason we're doing this challenge is because not just me, also the team and the entire community and everybody I'm talking to seems to have a little bit of confusion around what to use o1 for and o3 for. Like it's okay, it's really impressive that it scores that high on the benchmarks. Sure, if you're a developer, the use case is clear, right? You just have a new best model for coding. If you're a scientist, I guess you'll find use cases that are domain specific for you. But like, I just happen to know that most people in this chat, including me, like are not scientists or of full-time software developers. And even if you're a software dev, it's like, what else do I use this for? When should I be going to 4.0? When should I be going to Sonnet? When should I be going to o1? When do I need o1-Pro? Is deep research better? Is DeepSeek even worth my attention? Nobody really knows, okay? And I could sit here and like confidently tell you that, hey, you know, the new release from OpenAI, you just need o1-Pro, it performs better, blah, blah, blah. But like, how do you back that up? Like, you need concrete examples to do that. And that's what we're hoping to crowdsource with the community here. It was rather, well, at least for me and the team, it was rather simple to come up with all these use cases and comparisons when it came to single shot prompting, or even like little prompt chains. It became quite obvious which model is better at this category, this category, this category, and we could make recommendations. With these thinking models, it's getting a little tricky. All right, so challenge sounds good. Okay. I agree. This should be really interesting. And you have a month time, okay? Doesn't mean that, you know, you should do it last minute. But you have 4 weeks now. Before, you usually had a week. And yeah, I'm really excited about the fact that we're gonna run this like all year, okay? I'm gonna come live at the very least once a month with this monthly challenge stream. And then the next stream, we're gonna spend like 80% of the stream evaluating the results of the o1 challenge. And then we're going to issue a new challenge in the end. That's going to be the structure. We're going to just keep doing that. Once every month, we're going to issue a new challenge where we explore new AI tools together. It's something that I personally also like really missed, and that kind of got lost over the last year on YouTube. We like got so much into like the regular video production that I just missed this direct interaction. I miss looking at chat, seeing your guys' thoughts in here, and interacting with that. Yeah. Yeah, Pyle never say. Okay, a bit of a spicy take right here from Pyle. I used to laugh at the people who pay so much money to close the AI, okay, OpenAI, for something they will have for free in a couple of months. Fair enough. Well, here's the thing. Like, not everybody values money the same way, right? So, like, this is an important thing to understand, especially on the internet. Like, it's just not the same thing. Somebody who has you know, a net worth of, or like who has 5 million in stocks and is making his 8% a year of that, doesn't value a $100 bill in the same way as somebody who's making $10 an hour. It's just important to understand the difference. So for somebody like just throwing 200 or o1-Pro might be a fun, you know, experiment or like an interesting afternoon activity. Whereas to other people, that's their rent. So, but I see what you're saying. Like we're already getting things like DeepSeek over here, where you can do, you know, a weaker version of what o1 can do for free. Yeah. So there's a price to being an early adopter, and most of the time it comes in the form of time you spend, but now also in money with these subscriptions. Yeah. Yeah, also SMX with Peppo the Frog on here, like making the important distinction that it also depends if you make money with the things or not. Yeah, I think that really matters, right? Because like if you can get something a few months in advance for a few $100s, that's the thing. That's why, you know, like it's just individual, man. Just like everything in life, it's very individual, you know. But I agree. A lot of people like just throw money at it because it's new. But like generally speaking, you know, I think people are smarter than a lot of people. Yeah, humanity is smarter than most people think individually. Especially in this channel, of course. Okay, so let's transition into the next segment here, okay? I see this sparked a good discussion in chat here. See, this is why I love lives, man. This is like if I were to record a video, I would just make a point and move on. But here, yeah, I'm talking, I love it. Michael saying, careful with DeepSeek, it's Chinese propaganda. Fair enough, fair point, man. Yeah, I mean, hey, they're making it freely available. Yeah, it's facing a lot of criticism. Anyway, we're here just to evaluate like the capabilities, okay? So what I want to do next is the following. Something that a random guy already started here in chat, okay? I brought one use case here for you where I positively know that o1 performs better, okay? Just empirically based from what I've done so far, something that I find extremely useful inside of ChatGPT is SWOT analysis, okay? o1 is basically like from a business perspective, because as I said, I'm not a scientist, I'm not a full-time developer. I have some basics or whatever, but like I'm not a scientist, I'm not a developer. For those in those domains, okay, I get it. But like in the business domain, in the creative domain, like how do I use this for my life? What I arrived at over the past few months and from all the conversations and usage, what I arrived at is it's really good at two things. I have these two keywords here, planning and analysis, okay? And also rewriting. I did an event on like o1 and like my uses of that in the community that we even re-uploaded to YouTube. So if you want to hear me blabbering just about like how I use o1, maybe a bit more in-depth version of what we're doing here today, then that's on the YouTube channel. I think you can easily find that. Must have been uploaded like 3 months ago when o1 released, somewhere around that. But analyzing and planning, okay? SWOT analysis is sort of both, right? It analyzes a situation and then it like plans for it. It plans for the different eventualities, right? What are the strengths? What are the weaknesses? What are the opportunities? What are the threats? Okay, I assume that most of you are familiar with the concept of a SWOT analysis. Okay, let me see. Is there some lag? It's okay. I'm sure it will subside. Yeah, I have to. No, the connection is good. It has been a bit spotty recently. I played some. I have to admit, I played some Path of Exile 2 over Christmas, and yeah, it was a little spotty. Like I lagged out in some boss fights. It wasn't good. Anyway, back to the point here. Okay, so o1 really good for analysis and planning. SWOT analysis obviously does both of those. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn a normal prompt into something that I would call like a good o1 prompt formula. And then we're gonna throw that into o1-Pro, DeepSeek, and Gemini Deep Research. And then we're gonna, like, I suppose that's gonna take like maybe 10 minutes or something. And then we can take one of your examples. So if anybody here has an interesting o1 prompt, like a random guy is pointing out here, that it can be really good with tech support, generally outputs more accurate information, which is useful for learning. If you have a prompt, a random guy, please share it in chat, and we will consider running it through all these free models, okay? So I have all the subscriptions here, and we can have a look at this together, evaluate it together. How does that sound? Okay. Okay, excellent. So here is the basic prompt. Before I do that, here's some value for you, okay? Here's some value. So basically, I have two threads that I found that are like new to me that I find quite useful. One of them is this Reddit comment, where it basically on the OpenAI subreddit, where it basically outlines a prompt structure that works well for o1, and this exactly aligns with what I have found, what the community has found, and what I've heard across the internet, what I've picked up over time. o1 is not as good with short prompts as you think. Like, they work, but you don't want those extremely long mega prompts where you flesh out all the context, but you also don't want those one-liners. You want something in between. And you know, this guy right here in this post from 3 months ago essentially outlines that exact thing, where it's good to give it, you know, the input and the task, a little bit of context, and then giving it 3 examples to complete something. Okay, so like giving it 3 examples of what you want to do either, or giving it free tasks in a row, like do task 1 to 3, just basically fleshing it out a little bit, right? If like a mega prompt that like runs over 5 pages, like a PDF with 5 pages is like a 10 out of 10, let's say, or I guess a 9.5 out of 10, because some people go really crazy. But like if that's a 10 out of 10, and if, write me an essay about penguins is a 1 out of 10, then O1 likes something between a 3 and a 6, I would say. It's just my rough intuition right there, but that's just what I would put out there. So this little structure can be quite useful, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna use this little structure from a Reddit user, Sothasid, I suppose. He's an avid lover of everything programming. And we're gonna use this little structure to prompt these models, okay? Before we do that, I wanna get one more thing off my list, which I promised you in the beginning, and that is, this is a course that Stavros actually shared inside of our community. It's a free course on using O1. So if you're here at this point in time, if you're still paying attention, chances are you would get value from this. This is from an OpenAI employee. It's just 1 hour. It's freely accessible. You can just, enroll here for free. And basically, he's the head of AI solutions at OpenAI. And he teaches this little course with a few videos on how to prompt it, how to plan, how to use it for coding, how to use it with images and meta prompting. Quite simple little course. But if you find yourself craving for more, then this course might serve you well. Okay? I'll share that in chat. I'll also put this into the description for anybody watching the recording. Excellent. And thanks again, Stavros, for sharing this in the community and for bringing this to my attention less than a week ago. I just, allowed myself to also feature this on YouTube. But yeah, Stavros always has very, very insightful thoughts and experiments. So with that being said, with everything being out there, let's get to crafting a little O1 prompt, okay? And my starting point is going to be a very little SWOT prompt from our free resource that you get by signing up to our newsletter. We've been refining these prompts over the course of the past few years based on our usage and what we see. And I gotta say, like, this little SWOT prompt just works like a charm. And it works like a charm for a few reasons, okay? I'm just gonna switch to GPT-4o here. It's very simple. Like, GPT-4o has a lot of context on what a SWOT analysis is. So this will just work well straight out of the gate, okay? But then specifying what industry you're in and business, sure, this is a little extra context. This is extra context that will help it perform better, this right here specifically. But then asking it to ask you clarifying questions is, makes this so beginner friendly and so powerful that this is just a prompt that, I have in my personal prompt library and that I'd like to use regularly. Because, I could worry about like going ahead and fleshing out every piece of context, giving my personal context, giving my business context, thinking about what is relevant to the SWOT analysis, or I just let the model do it. I like to do this a lot, okay? So all I need to do is, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna run this prompt in 4.0. We're gonna answer some of these clarifying questions, and then we're gonna transform it into this format. As I said, just a fun little exercise. And then we're going to use this format and we're going to run it through the 4 different models: O1, o1-Pro, Deep Research, and DeepSeek V3. And we're going to compare the results. So in other words, we're going to do our best to craft a prompt that makes sense for O1 for these reasoning models. And then we're going to throw it at all the available options in the market and we can judge them together. How do you feel about that? We can even do a little poll here in chat. You can tell me which one of the 4 answers you prefer. I'm excited about this because honestly, I haven't even properly used the DeepSeek Deep Research feature in here, and I've heard good things, so this should be fun. Okay, let's get into it. So let's just pick any arbitrary business or service. Let me put this paper to the side with my little agenda for today, and what we're gonna do in here, I want a SWOT analysis for what are we gonna do? Generative AI educational community? No, how about something that everyone can relate to? Like, let me look in chat. Is there any inspiration from chat here? Okay, some great tips here in chat already. Thanks, KI Musikfernsehen. Appreciate that. Okay, So we're gonna do a SWOT analysis for my, let's just do it, yeah, based on this course, okay? For my reasoning with o1 course, okay. Video course, it's not my course, but I'm just using it as an example here, right? So reasoning with o1 video course in the generative AI educational sector. And maybe a bit more context that teaches people how to best utilize reasoning models in you know what? I'm gonna go off script a little bit, like off topic here. I'm gonna say in business, reasoning models in business settings. So that's not, you know, fully true because that's not the focus of the course. But let's say I would want to develop a course that does exactly this. So I'm gonna extend it with that, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead. And then I'm going to answer some of these questions. And this is a little workflow you can utilize for yourself whenever you're not sure. You can always add this little building block in the end. Hey, you know, ask clarifying questions to create the, you know, to complete your assignment. And then it will do that. Okay. So what are the internal strengths of the course? Okay. Strengths are that, and I'm going to do it based off this example. Okay. So let's say I would be producing this course right here. And I'm thinking about, hey, like, what are the different opportunities and threats for this course? That we have an open AI employee presenting, and that it is well researched and co-developed by the creators of the model. Again, this is just an example, okay? So this is not 100%, you know, true. Michael saying deep research takes a few minutes to complete. Excellent. Few minutes we got. So, okay, what are the weaknesses? What weaknesses would I identify? Weaknesses are the short length and limited amount of knowledge about best practices as this is a new product. Okay. So you can see, like, instead of just like giving me what it thinks the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats are, it actually asks me, like, what are the ones that are top of mind for me? And then it will flesh those out further. What opportunities do you see for the course? Distributing it to each, you know, LLM user in the world to raise their awareness. Okay. Just gonna breeze through this, not to waste too much of your time here. And then threats. And I love that it gives like suggestions, you know, with this prompt, because it's like, I'm just freestyling this here, but you can always just bounce off this. What threats do you foresee for your course? It being outdated once o3 comes out, or like once the next, there you go. That's okay. And then look, it's going to consolidate all that into a wonderful little SWOT analysis. Okay, so why did we go through this? Well, first things first, we now have a GPT-4o SWOT analysis. But secondly, I also have some context here that I can now craft and put into a o1 prompt. So what I will want to do here is I will want to take my little SWOT analysis. How about that? And I will head on over to deep research. I'll craft it in here as this seems to be the slowest model of them all, okay? And then I will also use this little template just because why not? Not mandatory, but as I said, this does help. So what is the context? What is the task? We'll take the task here from the initial prompt. All right, let's have a little fun here. So complete the following. So the first step, I want to create a SWOT analysis. Then we're going to give it a bit of context. We operate in business or for a business target audience in the generative AI educational sector. For inputs, I don't really, well, I could fill in variable. I'm just gonna skip input. I don't really need this. We're just gonna do task. That is task number 1. Wonderful. We can give it extra context, like so. Oh, it has that already in there. Okay. So, and here is the secret sauce, okay? So this took a little while, but now we have, you know, like what we're doing this for, and we have the SWOT analysis, the first draft in here. So as you can see, like, you know, on the scale from 1 to 10, we're not going all out and fleshing this out as much as we could, right? Like we could expand this into like a whole page if we wanted to, but like we're keeping it simple. We gave it some context. We gave it something to work with some of our thoughts. I didn't even edit it in the interest of time, but you might want to edit this. But then here, please complete the following. Okay, create a SWOT analysis for my Reasoning with O1 video course that teaches people how to best utilize reasoning models. 2, consider how we could position the course to be distributed to business professionals. And then this might not be necessary, but it is one of my favorite tricks with these reasoning models. If you just say improve this as a follow-up prompt sometimes, it goes ahead and it figures out like how would this be improved? That's step number 1 in the background, and then it applies all those ways, okay? So it's sort of a thing that I found just to raise quality, completely optional, but I'm just saying like I found this to be quite useful many times, okay? So I'll just, you know, do that and then follow up with any steps you deem necessary. Perfect. So we have our initial prompt here. How about that, okay? I'm gonna send this to deep research. We'll move over and we'll send this to, I'll open up a new chat so we can compare these, right? We'll send this to O1 over here. I'll open up another chat where we'll send this to o1-Pro. And we have a nice little SWOT prompt with a little bit of context, you know, like probably ideally I could also include my personal and business context in here for the context. So we keep it simple here, okay, for the demo. So o1-Pro is working. O1 is also working. ChatGPT, we have the initial result. I'm gonna line this up like so. Here we have the plan from Gemini Advanced Deep Research. We'll look at that in a second, but meanwhile, we'll also send this to DeepSeek. Okay, let's have a look. So what are the steps? Find top online courses for business professionals. Find how much online courses for business professionals cost. It's going to do all this research. It's going to analyze it and create a report. Okay, let's go. So now I have like 4 different models working for me at the same time. Isn't that beautiful? All right. Hello from Michigan coming in from Greg Delano. Welcome, man. And also Randy from Guyana. Good to have you here, guys. I see you just tuning in into the beginning of the stream. This is all recorded, so that's good. There we go. Okay. Yeah, Greg pointing out, can we adjust the word improve to be interpreted a certain way by O1? Maybe by using parentheses? Yes, absolutely. So you can always, like, it's probably better if you know what direction you want to improve it into, right? So like, instead of just saying improve this, I'm just saying this is a super general tip, but like, it's probably better in most cases to say like, you know, improve this for maximum profitability, right? Like, so if you give it a specific goal, it will know what to look out for. This way, it will kind of just like ask itself like, okay, what would make this better? It's the same thing as just make it better, right? It will figure out what that would generally mean and then do it. It's probably better if you make it more specific. Okay. Hey, Doc Rock. What's up, brother? Aloha to you too. Happy New Year, man. Good to see you around. All right, so what is the progress on this? So 4.1 was completed before we even started. O1 has finished in 34 seconds. We have a nice little SWOT analysis here. We can review all of these in a second here. Then we have o1-Pro that is also finished. Amazing. Took 2 minutes. And Gemini is still creating the report after researching 38 websites. Beautiful. And DeepSeek also came up with an answer. Okay, so how about this? Let's go through these briefly in terms of structure. Okay, like what did I include? And secondly, we'll compare one of the 4 points in detail. Like, hey, we're on a schedule here. We're not gonna spend like half an hour reviewing every single strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat here. But what I do want to do is I want to have a look over the structure. So let's start with GPT-4o. GPT-4o gave us a structure with the SWOT analysis. The length is about yay long. We have an average of 3 bullet points per strength per SWOT item, right? 3 bullet points, 2 bullet points, 3. And then it asks if I would like to go deeper or brainstorm strategies. Okay, so this is pretty basic. That's what we got. That was the initial context. But here comes the first real contender, O1. Let's have a look. What did O1 come up with? This is what you get with the $20 plan of ChatGPT. Here's the enhanced SWOT analysis. And this comparison is not fair because like here we didn't even ask it to like enhance it or to make it more in depth. To be fair, it even asked. So this is really where the comparison begins, okay? O1, what did it do? Well, it's about yay long. There's 3 bullet points that are fleshed out with 2 sub-bullet points in each category, 2, 3, 3. Okay, it gives us recommended next steps. How many of them? 6 of them with 2 sub-bullet points each. Okay, so it's thinking ahead already. That's good. We have some follow-up actions, some actionable next steps we could take. That is absolutely beautiful. This is something that, 1.5 years ago, you would really need to prompt to get this out of it. You would need to tell it, hey, include follow-up actions that are like rooted in practical blah, blah, blah strategies. Now it just does it for you. I love it. Okay, so in total, we have, the main section with 2 to 3 bullet points each. Let's just say 3, because except of weaknesses, it's always 3 bullet points with 2 sub-bullet points each, next steps, and follow-up actions. How does this differ from o1-Pro? I'm curious to see this. As per usual, I love comparing these two still. So the strengths, 4 bullet points, okay, but 1, 2, so it's the same thing. It's a total of 8 sub-bullet points in strengths. Weaknesses, same thing. And as I said, afterwards, we'll compare one of the sections in more detail. This is just about the structure. Weaknesses, we have a total of 4 sub-bullet points. I suppose that is the same, right? Yep, 4 sub-bullet points, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. Opportunities, we have another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sub-bullet points, and threats, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sub-bullet points. So essentially identical in terms of structure and length to O1. Then we have recommended next steps, 6 of them, and a conclusion. So actually O1 went ahead and also gave us these actionable steps here in the end that we did not get with, these follow-up actions that we did not get with o1-Pro. Here's the thing though, if we rerun this 3 times, you might just get it, okay? So like if I rerun it here, then you might just get it. There's a bit of variability in the outputs still, although o1-Pro is more consistent. I will say that. That is true. But yeah, there you go. So essentially the same result in terms of structure. What does DeepSeek bring to the table? Let's have a look at that. Is Gemini done yet? Oh, it's done. Okay, we'll leave that one for last. It fought for 5 seconds, okay. Strengths, 4 bullet points, weaknesses, 3 bullet points, opportunities, 4 bullet points. And guys, look, I realize more bullet points doesn't mean better. I'm just comparing. 1, 2, 3, 4 bullet points on threads. Okay, so the shortest answer of them all, and then it gives you improved next actions and steps. 6, 7 of them. Quite similar to O1, no? Eerily similar. Now let's have a look at Gemini. What's up, Gemini? SWOT analysis. Okay, so this is more of a report format, right? Which you can open in Docs right away. That's a nice feature in here. Here we go. That was just introduction. So in strengths, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bullet points with story with references along the way. This will be interesting when I think we'll just compare like the strengths paragraph. Then we have weaknesses, 1, 2, 3, 4, with varying resources in each one of them. Look at that. Guys, and you can already kind of think about, hey, like which one of these do you like the most? Which one of these would you prefer? Threads, there's 4 bullet points, but like this is a different format, no? Because like with o1-Pro, you're getting, no, this is o1-Pro. Like, look at that. This is like a rather short sentence. Here, 1 bullet point has way more weight. This is like at least twice as long, if not 3 times as long. So it does go more in depth. Okay? It gives you a matrix summary, which I personally love. Look at that. You can one-click export to Sheets. This is really good. And conclusion and recommendations. These are sort of the action steps in the end. It is recommended to prioritize platform selection, develop a comprehensive marketing strategy. Okay. Less recommendations than on the rest, but it does give you these best practices as a bonus. So it's something like recommendations, next steps. I would say the last part is kind of like, it's just a different flavor, but these results in terms of structure are definitely more in depth. Okay, so if you're looking for something more in depth, we can already say, you know, deep research takes it home here. And I also love the fact that it included a total of 38 websites as the sources. Okay, you can look at some of these here, how to price your online courses, 6 ways to deliver your online courses. These are just random blog posts that I pulled up from Google. No, this is not relevant to like AI course creation. Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. Okay, so now that we analyze the structure, we can actually proceed to having a look. Ooh, Bilal saying, why didn't we try it with Claude also? Because Claude doesn't have a reasoning model as of now. That would be apples to oranges, right? But yeah, Greg Delano saying, oh, that's pretty. You mean this deep research one? I agree. Yeah, matrix summary. Yeah. There you go. That's a good keyword. You can surely do this in 4.0 also, right? You can just, boom, it just does it. Yeah, Brian saying Gemini looks the best so far. Yeah, good point. So what we're going to do now is, how about this? So I think let's do a comparison between o1 and o1-Pro on which one of the 4. Strength, let's think about this. Which one of those 4 would be best for comparison? Strengths are pretty straightforward, right? Weaknesses are like where the value might lie, like because you can, yeah, that's where you can minimize risk. Opportunities, I feel like takes most creativity because you kind of need to like think in a multidisciplinary type of way to see opportunities that might not be obvious. And threats is also, again, like risk mitigation. So I tend to be optimistic guy. How about we compare opportunities? Like with that reasoning, okay? Like let's just have a look at the opportunity section in all 4 of these, put these side by side and have a look at how that goes. So I'm gonna like pull this aside. I'm gonna minimize this. And then can we put 3 on one screen? Let me have a look. Let me try this for you. That seems unlikely, no? Like 3 kind of is a lot. Okay, how about we do these 3? Because like Gemini does seem quite good here, no? So like, how about we do the comparison between the 3 of these, and then the winner goes up against deep research. And then you can vote on all 4. But I like this. I like this approach here. Okay, so, and let's look at the opportunity section. So again, we have o1-Pro, and DeepSeek V3. That is completely free. So we have the most expensive one in the middle versus the $20 version versus the free version over here. Let's have a look. Opportunities. Okay, we're going to be comparing the opportunities only in the interest of time. Ooh, a lot of opportunities here. Good, let's do it. So, global distribution potential, global corporate demand. I think that's the same point, right? Can be marketed to every LLM user worldwide. Okay, offers an early foothold in a relatively untapped niche on reasoning models. Okay, this talks more about the demand from like the corporate side, and this is just about the fact that like people worldwide will care. So it's not the same point. Okay, next one: skyrocketing demand for AI literacy, growing appetite for AI education is definitely an opportunity. And here it brings up the corporate demand, right? So that's it. Businesses across industries want practical guidance. Okay, so this is the same point, just worded differently, okay? Then we have first mover advantage in reasoning models. Reasoning with O1 can occupy an untapped niche, making it the go-to course for those wanting to leverage advanced reasoning techniques in AI applications. Okay, fair enough. First mover advantage, it's definitely real, big opportunity. It's basically a push towards like urgency, like, hey, like get this out quick. Like that's a good opportunity to be aware of. Early innovator advantage, that's the equivalent of the first mover advantage, no? Being among the first courses dedicated, potential for partnerships with companies eager to position themselves as AI forward. Okay, that's an extra point here. I wouldn't give this too much weight, but essentially point 3 equals point number 1 here. Point number 1 equals point number 2. And then we have global distribution potential, which is essentially point number 3, right? No, it's a bit different. This talks about partnerships with LMS, consulting firms, professional associations, in-house corporate trainings. What do you guys think? I would love to hear also your thoughts on this as I go through this. I'm doing my best to kind of like compare these, but let me know. Yeah, Greg saying point 2 is quite insightful for both. Yeah, I agree. This is like, it's looking at like a global gigatrend, right? That's pretty smart. I like that a lot. And I like that both have it. I feel like on this one, it's kind of just, it just takes a different angle. I mean, it's not entirely the same point, but it just takes, I would score them equally. But O1 ended here, right? So it's a little shorter. And o1-Pro gave us 1 extra point. So this is where like all the, let's see if this is worth anything. Continuous evolution of content. So an opportunity is the fact that as more use cases emerge, the course can be regularly updated with fresh examples and practices, positioning it as a living resource rather than a static product. That is a fantastic opportunity that we don't have over here. I agree. I mean, this is something that we dedicated ourselves to with like the materials in the community too. We're like, hey, yeah, I produced a course in like, what was it? April 2023, but like we've shipped like 5 updates to it already, independent of the 15 videos that we added in the end, or the live sessions. So like as a course creator, I can only agree that this is a big opportunity that O1 didn't grasp. So the verdict here, o1-Pro is better because it found this 1 extra opportunity. And I like that. Now, is this worth 10 times more? Hell no. No way, okay? No way. Purely luxury product. Chances are, if I rerun this a few more times, and I'll do it because we're kind of done here with this O1 output, right? We won't spend another hour comparing all of this. But like chances are, if I try again a few more times, it might just come up with this point, right? So it might have been just lucky. But I'll tell you what, like o1-Pro is a little better at being lucky consistently. That's just true, okay? So, do people really use DeepSeek? Stilly asking. Honestly, I don't know. Anybody in chat, do you guys use DeepSeek? You know, we have over 100 people here. Do you use DeepSeek? Yeah, overlap in the verbiage. Yeah, it's very similar. So we'll have a look if it comes up with this 4th point. But for now, I would give it to o1-Pro as, o1-Pro found an extra opportunity here. That makes sense. You can really use this in the marketing of the thing. Like, cool, you're getting an O1 course, but it will be updated. That's a big deal. AI moves fast. Let's have a look. It's almost there. Threads, it's next up. But next up, we're going to be looking at DeepSeek. So I don't know if nobody using DeepSeek apparently from chat. Yeah, Greg, that's a good point. o1-Pro seem to put at least some thought towards a sustained effort for the business. Yeah, thinking ahead a little more. I mean, that makes sense, right? Like evolution of the content is literally thinking into the future. And o1-Pro with like more compute and more runs, like more inference runs, will just have the ability to think, on the time axis rather than just statically. Yeah, it like makes sense that the model that runs like 3 times as long and prompts itself more will think a little more into the future. But with that being said, let's have a look. If we run this again, where are the opportunities? Right here. Global business outreach, we had this. Emerging market niche, we had this. Add-on services and community. Okay, here it comes up with a different point, right? You can add advanced or specialized modules. You can collaborate with partners, but it did not come up with this continuous evolution. Interesting. And I wanna interrupt this here for a second, okay, and really hammer this point home, because like this is just like my personal intuition here, but this is what I found with using these models. It's best if there's a bigger picture to be considered outside of your prompt. What I mean by that is if you're just asking it to write a complaint email or a customer support email, it's just targeting one problem and you want the model to solve it. For that case, 4.0, couldn't ask for more. Works well. But if you're looking to write a fictional story, okay, that contains multiple storylines, that happens across time, o1 and these reasoning models are your friend. Why? Because you need to consider the beginning and the end of the story for the scene that you're writing in the middle to make sense, okay? Now, that's just an example. But in other words, the more context that is going to be impossible to define there is surrounding the topic you're working on, the better these reasoning models will perform, okay? I hope that makes sense. That's why it's really good for analysis, for science, because it's like, you know, why is it good for science? Well, there's no way you're going to put in the context of every single paper that has been published in the domain that you're prompting on top of into your prompt. It might just be good to prompt another 15 times and ask some critical questions surrounding that topic, and then you will get better results. That's why it's good in science. Why is it good in coding? Well, because there's many ways to skin a cat, right? Everybody who knows a little bit of code will know that like you can solve a problem in multiple ways, and all of them will work. Now, there's probably one superior way in terms of best practices, but like there's probably 10 solutions to every problem, if not more. Like most coders most experienced coders can come up with multiple solutions. So if you give o1 a coding problem, it can ask itself, hey, what other alternatives exist to this solution? What would the advantages be? Like, how would this perform in a setting like this, in a setting like this? Is this going to be easily editable? All these extra questions where the bigger picture matters. It's not just about solving the problem, not just about solving the customer complaint. It's about thinking outside of the box. That's when these models are good, okay? So I just wanted to like drive that home. So if you have something a very pointy problem, something that is like clearly defined and is like, get this task done, boom, good. Use a normal model. But if you're something that's a bit more ethereal, a bit more out there, there's a bit more fog of war surrounding it, so to say, then these models make sense. And like, I love that we see it here on the SWOT analysis where o1-Pro like actually thought into the future. Like, hey, if you keep updating this content, you have an extra value proposition because you're not just buying the course today, you're also buying our effort in the future that we're going to keep making it better, right? So that's really, especially in something that moves as fast as AI, that's like a no-brainer. Okay, let's move on. The final two contenders, okay? Let's look at DeepSeek and, I'm looking forward to the 1.5 with deep research. It seems exciting. So, we had a look at this. Now let's have a look at this one, opportunities right here. Excellent, okay. So, massive global distribution potential. And I guess we like eliminated o1 now. So like o1-Pro performed slightly better, right? Okay, global distribution potential. Yeah, we had the demand thing with o1-Pro here. That's the same thing. I guess you have a bit less context here. One bullet point instead of two, similar length, easily distributed to a global audience of LLM users. Yeah, here it shows a few more opportunities. Hey, so, you know, slightly preferable over here, but not really. This is good enough. Growing demand, that's good. First mover advantage. I think that's untapped niche. I think this is the same point, right? Point 2 and point 3 here is the same thing. Partnerships and collaborations, potential partnerships with businesses, industry associations. It's the same thing as this. Again, less detail, less suggestions. Here brings up consulting firms, associations, in-house corporate trainings. It misses this point, but yeah. There you go. That's similar. What about this one, though? Growing demand for generative AI education? Hmm. Does it bring that up? It doesn't. But I brought this up in my context, right? So it's just regurgitating the growing the global demand. Okay. So I brought this up in my initial prompt. You can see it right here. Okay, so that's not a very independent thought right here, but like, okay, fair enough. It's got a point. And again, it missed this fourth point that you could like update it. Okay, so, again, it's more in depth. It surfaces more opportunities, not just with an extra bullet point that I find relevant, but it doesn't like regurgitate what I gave it. And it thinks like independently and adds more context with second bullet points. I personally would prefer o1-Pro, not a landslide though, okay? So still o1-Pro reigns supreme. Now let's compare it to the final contender, and I think this will be some real competition over here. Shisheto, which do you think is the best current model on the market? No easy answer to that. The answer is it depends on what you're using it for. We're trying to figure out like which one is the best one of the reasoning ones on the simple examples here. So, okay, I'll just scroll down to the opportunities and let's read through these together, okay? And this is then the final part here. We can then compare and then you can vote yourself. Which one would you prefer? I'm curious. So, opportunities from Google's deep research, massive document, right? So we already stated that this thing like referenced more links and created this like matrix and just has more in-depth answers and intro than any other model here. So that's a win on that front already. But let's see. Opportunities, diverse platforms. Numerous platforms cater to business professionals' online learning, including Udemy course. Can expand the course's reach and visibility. Okay, like why is it talking about like, I personally don't find this too relevant. I guess it just pulled like from these articles that there's different platforms that you could post it on. Okay, fair enough. I mean, okay. It's not very insightful, but okay. Doesn't Claude have a new reasoning model? No, unless I missed something or it came out today or something. I don't think so. Sonnet is not a reasoning model, no. Okay, targeted marketing. Employing targeted marketing strategies such as content, social media campaigns, can effectively reach the desired audience. This could involve creating a valuable content related to... Okay, so you can see this is like completely different from the others. These are comparable. This is just a different thing. Like it's just looking at some strategies for marketing an online course. Okay, but like, I guess this point is very comparable to, where was it? Is that even here? With this? Not really though, no. Okay, so it's just, okay, yeah, you can do targeted marketing. That's an opportunity, okay. But like on who? Like who are the people who care about like reasoning models? It's just regurgitating the article. I'm not a fan of this point personally. Okay, let's move on. Corporate training partnerships. Collaborating with corporations to offer reasoning with o1 as part of their employee training program. Now that's smart. It also gave it a title. I like that. Well, that's my title. Okay, my bad. But yeah, you could do corporate training, license or adopt a course for company-wide use. That's this point, no? This could involve tailoring the course content to a specific industry. Okay, it gives a bit more context. I think it's this point. Okay, good job on that one. Continuous improvement. Continuous improvement. Aha! Is that this one? Is that the final point? I think so. Incorporating it to enhance the course content and deliver can improve its quality and appeal. This can be achieved through surveys, feedback forms, and online communities. No, so this is just about making it better, but it doesn't consider the fast, rapid pace of evolution in AI. Okay, so it's different. Okay, and I can see my image is covering it up a little bit, so I'll try to keep this above the image right here, okay? So here are the final 2 points. This is the one we looked at now, and then there's competitive pricing. It can be priced competitively based on its length and content, considering the typical pricing strategies for online courses. Now look, this is what I really like. Like, this is really cool. For example, a shorter form course could be priced between $197 and $497. And then, okay, so this is really nice that it actually went ahead and looked at different articles on how to price courses, and it gives concrete recommendations on a price point. Like, that is kind of amazing. So this is really hard to judge. Like, what do you guys think? Like, what do you guys think? Like, honestly, I really love this point. I think this is a big point that will help you sell it. But then I really love this point over here with the pricing, where it gives you concrete prices based on little articles that I looked at. That's great. That's an opportunity. But what are the best opportunities? You can keep updating it based on feedback. That's kind of a lame opportunity, no? That's kind of a given. I mean, this is what I want to hear. Not that like, hey, you could gather feedback and update your course. I like that it like, tie on this one. Corporate training partnerships, both of them made this point. Okay. Targeted marketing. This one feels really like, it just doesn't say much. It's like, yeah, sure, you could target like who? It doesn't even tell you, like, okay. Like people who are interested in reasoning and critical thinking. Like, that's not a real target audience, no? I don't know. And then we have diverse platforms. This one is just a summary of like the articles it found. So like this doesn't seem too practical. I'd rather hear about the first mover advantage. So I think my intuition is telling me overall o1-Pro and o1 and DeepSeek would be preferable to these opportunities here. But then again, this is like, this creates a full report, right? Now I can prompt this to create a report also. Sure. Yeah. I like, yeah. Greg, great points here. Thanks for contributing. Like, I really like the fact that this like references sources and updated sources. So I think this is fantastic. Like, that's really good. And I bet that if you go down here, I really like the matrix. It's a tough one. So I just want to hear what you think at this point, okay? I'm going to throw up a poll here. We're going to create a poll in chat, and you can just tell me, like, which one do you prefer? Do you prefer? I think it's between o1-Pro and deep research, no? So, like, deep research definitely has, like, is more in depth on some points. It has more sources. It has more, like, this has no quotes, right? Like, that's a big deal. You can, like, kind of cross-reference the facts. It has the SWOT matrix. But what do you think? I want to hear that now. We're going to start a little poll. Which one is better for SWOT? o1-Pro or Gemini Deep Research? Okay, the poll has started. You can vote in chat now. We'll give it like 2 minutes. And yeah, we're going to see what you guys think. Again, to recap, we kind of crafted a little SWOT prompt that includes a first version of the SWOT and a little bit of context. We threw it into different reasoning models. Now we're comparing it. We looked at the overall structure and then only the opportunity section. And yeah, I'm curious to see what you guys prefer. I mean, both of these are paid products, but also like keep in mind, this is $200 a month. This is $20 a month. And o1 did like 95% of the job at $20 a month also, right? Bilal saying o1-Pro, I think. Greg saying superior interpretation of the prompt from the Pro model, in my opinion. There are a few better features in DeepSeek. There are better features in DeepSeek. Okay. Love to hear it. What do you think most people use AI for? I think writing, man. Honestly, like from what I hear, most people just bring up, it's just, oh, I couldn't imagine writing without it anymore. Like rewriting for yourself or writing drafts. I think that's the one that that's the first thing that comes to mind. Also, Niklas raising the point that he thinks pricing and the time, 4 to 6 weeks, are use cases with details and not so much on the high level. So Gemini here did a really nice job. I agree. I mean, the pricing one is kind of big. I love that it like found articles and gave me concrete recommendations here. That's really nice. Okay. So, the vote is 50-50 right now. 52% to 48. Yeah, so people are not sure. So I think that's a conclusion here. Like, it depends. You need to try it. Like, this is definitely a great product. I love the fact that it gives you like all the references. This is probably Google's best AI product next to Notebook. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's really good. Yeah. Yeah, o1-Pro is more static and Gemini more dynamic. Hence, I agree. And also, I love the fact that you have the references. So there you go. That's that. So I'll keep the vote going. We'll evaluate that. But isn't that like interesting? So now you can go ahead and throw your favorite prompt at this thing. Or maybe you've already found something where like it really makes sense to consider the bigger picture and to think a little bit outside of the box to acknowledge, like, for all you gamers out there, like, to, you know, acknowledge the fact that the fog of war exists and that you're like, you only have limited vision with your character. That's when you use o1. Okay? If you do that, and if you find a use case that makes sense, or if you maybe already have one, I would highly encourage you to participate in the public challenge that we have running for January. We are doing this for the first time in 2025. We'll do this once a month. It's right here. Best ChatGPT owner use case. You can create a new post. You can just share what you did right here. I'll share it again in chat. And you can win community memberships and features on the channel. Yeah. Heck, we'll even feature your socials if you want in the next stream that is going to happen 1 month from now, beginning of February. We'll make sure to schedule it today. You can expect it in the first week of February. But yeah, we'll basically be doing this all year. I'll be holding a stream a month like this. I'll bring in some guest judges. We'll look at the best o1 use cases and prompts. We'll pick a winner. Then we'll issue another challenge. And then see you in a month again. So I'm just saying this is the very least we'll do, okay? Like, maybe we'll do more. I kind of like streaming. I like making videos, but I really like streaming way more. It's so much fun to hang out here with you guys. So yeah, I can't wait to see what you come up with, what you use o1 for. And let's look at the results of our poll here. Ooh, 60% o1-Pro, 40% Gemini Deep Research. I mean, not an easy answer. No clear answer here. I would encourage you to use, you know, any one of these that you might have. I think you can get a monthly free subscription to Gemini Pro, so you could just do that, right? You could just get your new Google account, get a monthly trial. I think they still have that. And then, yeah, you could just give this a shot yourself. Or you have an OpenAI Plus account. You just try o1. You find a use case that works particularly well, share it with the community, win a membership, join us here, join us on the stream. Get, you know, the infinite glory that comes with submitting something useful. And you might just help like thousands of others, just like you or me, on this journey using AI. So do that. Yeah, Greg saying newsletters are cool, but FaceTime is king. Greg, I agree. FaceTime's the best. Also, like, here we get to like actually talk, you know, as opposed to a lot of the content creation, which is like one-sided. It's like I say something that I think you might care about, but here I can have feedback. Be like, yo, Igor, stop the over-analysis. Show us something. And then I can do that. Yeah. So that being said, that's what I wanted to show you today. I'll round this out with a final 2-minute segment on something that I'm about to do a bit more in depth in 45 minutes. By the way, any team members watching, I'm sorry I'm a bit late to the team meeting. I had to like show these wonderful people the capabilities of Deep Research Versus o1-Pro. I'll be there in a second. To all the community members, see you in 45 minutes in our monthly town hall where we'll be talking through all of these updates. To anybody else here on YouTube, oh, guys, it is so wonderful to have you here on this journey. It is a true pleasure to be like discovering this untapped or like unknown territory together with you and for you. And it is my true pleasure to be on this journey and to be, you know, looking into AI releases and techniques every single day, reporting back to you what I find, what others find. I really enjoy this content creation thing, but I only enjoy it because you guys are here. Like, in a vacuum, this would be the most boring thing in the world. With you in chat here, it's absolutely wonderful. So thank you for being on this journey. I hope you had a wonderful holiday season. Happy New Year 2025 to everybody on this channel, all the viewers, subscribers, supporters. We wouldn't be able to do this without you. I hope these public challenges are gonna, give something back to the community, and not even in terms of the prizes, just like in terms of sharing our knowledge here together. And yeah, with that, I would like to take, let me take like a minute. I want to share something with you, which I'm also gonna share with the community. But yeah, I want to show you this, okay? So basically, like for anybody wondering what we like do with the community and why you should like even care to join, it's like, first of all, it's like just an amazing platform to share and discuss these things, okay? It's like there's some magic to having a paid wall and like only not everybody there, because then things like this can surface, and Stavros can just share a course like this freely. And there's just so much more. For example, I ran an event on MCP protocol last month, and I gotta tell you, like, if there's one thing that I want you to look at in January 2025 beyond these o1 models, heck yeah, MCP protocol is incredible. It's essentially, you can tune Claude. Look, if I open up my Claude, like I'll just give you, if you haven't heard of this, I also haven't really covered this on the channel except of the release, but like I get to do these like deep dives in the community once a month. And if you go into here, like you can activate all of these extra tools, okay? So I gave my Claude web search. I gave my Claude like access to my directories. So if I go ahead and say like, organize my downloads folder for me, and I say hit enter, okay? This is what I like basically taught in the event, but you can also figure this out yourself. But this is what we do in the community. I say allow for this chat, and it will actually create, look at all the files in there. It will analyze them. It will create a folder structure. And I just have to say, like, what's the folder? I think it's Igor Pagani. Is it Igor Pagani downloads? Yeah, I allowed for this chat. It goes ahead and then it actually, okay. So this is unprepared, right? Like I would actually need to user Igor Pagani. Point is, in this event, I kind of showed everyone how to use Claude MCP protocol to like organize your hard drive with an agent that runs for free. Well, for free. It runs with your Anthropic subscription. You do not pay for the API. You do not pay for use. On the flat rate of $20 a month, it can reorganize all your files for you and move them around. Okay, we can just do one. Okay, I have the file path like incorrectly. But the point is, like with all these tools, like you can add an infinite amount of things. And like the cool thing is, like one more note, is Anthropic announced a roadmap for this for 2025. And I presented this in the community, and like multiple people, like both like Stavros and Dirk that are here in chat, hopped on top of this and like started like adding their like other servers to it. So I remember Stavros like added a memory function to Claude. So now his Claude has not just the ability to manipulate files on his computer, but also memories. So it has like more long-term memory, and it has internet search, and it has like, there's like a lot you can do with it. So this would be my recommendation. Check out MCP protocol. In the community, I got to hold an event like this. And my main point is, like, in 2024, this is like the full announcement for what's coming. But we have a whole roadmap, and the main roadmap is like, we're gonna do a whole lot more courses, and courses at the quality level of my prompt engineering course. So I'm gonna be flying in course members from all across the world here into the studio. I'm gonna help them produce it, direct it, and we're gonna create kick-ass courses, starting with a detailed fine-tuning course on how to fine-tune it on your very own voice. And I'm just like beyond excited to be doing this and going just beyond what we can do on YouTube, you know, because creating a multi-hour course with like use cases and guides and quizzes and certifications is just a more fulfilling project than just, you know, creating a quick off video. So yeah, that's that. Just wanted to quickly share that. MCP protocol, absolutely incredible. Courses coming in the community, public challenges happening every single month, streamed here on the YouTube channel. And yeah, that's that. That's all I got. Thank you so much for joining me. See you, well, I think this Friday, the latest news you can use. But other than that, I'll be live at least once a month, hopefully more. Have a wonderful day. See you soon.